What's going on, diehards? It's your boy Clint coming to you. I just wanted to do a real quick kind of impromptu talk and chat type of thing. It's the first time I've done one of these, and the news just broke that Nate Diaz is out of UFC 244, and damn, that sucks. But I wanted to kind of come and give my thoughts and chat with you guys a little bit since I had the opportunity, and this is really, really big news. I mean, wow. So first off, can we just talk about the fact that he called out USADA right away? The very first thing that he did was call out USADA. He's been the guy since day one. All y'all are on steroids, and now he's getting popped. I mean, whew. I mean, I sincerely hope that he can prove that this is a tainted supplement, because if he can't, I mean, his whole shtick right out the window if he gets popped for something legitimately. That would be next level bad for his career. But I mean, what does this mean for UFC 244? I mean, honestly, UFC 244 is a massive freaking card. That card is incredible. Now, I know everyone is all pumped up and psyched and excited about that badass motherfucker belt. But that is not, I mean, I love that fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fight fan. I'm a fan of Diaz. I'm a fan of Masvidal, especially with how hot the two of them have been lately. But didn't it feel like eerily quiet to anybody else? Like, Nate Diaz has never had a clean road to the octagon. This whole thing fell apart with Poirier right before the fight went through. Like, that's the problem with Nate Diaz, man. That is absolute. I never count on Nate Diaz fighting. I simply never expect to see Nate Diaz in the cage. He's done this too many damn times, and I know this is the first time that he's popped for like a performance enhancing drug or something like that, but there's always something. There is always something, and we haven't seen him fight hardly at all for the last couple of years because of shit like this, and it drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely nuts, because he's one of those guys that when he is peaked, when he is primed, and he's in there, you just love watching this guy fight. And I honestly was looking forward to tape studying for this whole week to see who I was going to pick on that fight, because even now I still wasn't sure. I've got an early lean to Masvidal, just thinking that he's probably going to fight the smarter game plan, but really that was the only lean that I had, because Nate just gets in there and fights. And that's why everybody loves him so much, is he just gets in there and fights. Now, the tweet that I just retweeted says that word on the street is that the UFC had Leon Edwards backed up and ready to go, and he's been in training camp the entire time. And I know from a casual perspective, from like a wild MMA fan base perspective, Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal does not move the needle like Nate Diaz versus... I'm sorry, Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal does not move the needle like Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal does. And that's incredibly unfortunate. But you know what? Like I said before, that card is still stacked. Absolutely stacked. And we will be buying it even with Leon Edwards jumping in for the main event. I hope that's true. I hope that that tweet is accurate. And I hope that with this fallout it is Leon Edwards. Because realistically, that's the fight that should have happened in the first place. That is 1,000% the fight that should have happened in the first place. And they can cut the promo in about 5 minutes. They've got the whole 3-piece and a soda thing. That is booked and ready to go. Those two have legitimate beef. And I know that the whole thing with the baddest motherfucker belt and the call out that Nate did, like, that doesn't do a whole lot for me. They're inventing this belt. It means nothing. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a spectacle. It'll be a damn good fight. But it doesn't do anything for the division, and unfortunately, I could see a situation where that belt turns into something that they want to defend. And Conor has already come out and said that I'm the baddest motherfucker, I'm going to come get that belt from whoever wins it. And I just hate that. Like, now rather than going for the title, which is the thing that you should be going for, people are going to be chasing this baddest motherfucker belt. I don't think it adds a whole lot of value. I think this is a kind of a media thing, trying to catch the casual's eye and turn it into something big. Like I said, a spectacle. And I don't want to say I'm glad it's gone, because don't get me wrong, it would have been fun. I'm not such a diehard or such a hardcore that I can't appreciate these kinds of things, because I can. Don't get me wrong. As a fan, I get excited about that kind of stuff too. I absolutely wanted to watch those guys fight, and for those of you that don't know, I'm actually an artist, and I wanted to see the design of this baddest motherfucker belt. I wanted to see what it looked like in comparison to the regular one. It would have been fun. But Leon Edwards had legitimate beef with Masvidal. After the whole three-piece and a soda thing, he got sucker punched out of nowhere by Masvidal. That's the fight that should have happened. That's the fight that needed to happen. And honestly, if Masvidal is going to do anything besides talk shit and float around in the top, 5 to 10 ballpark, if he actually wants to make a run at that belt, Nate Diaz isn't the guy. Nate Diaz is not a more valuable... okay, he's got more name value from like a casual fan perspective. He's got more name value than Leon Edwards does, but Leon Edwards is far and away the better fighter. He is far and away closer to a title. And even though he's got not a fan-friendly style, not an exciting style, he can be kind of boring to watch. What do you think Usman's going to do? What do you think Colby Covington is going to do? These guys are wrestlers. 170 is filled with top-tier, high-level wrestlers. And if you want to cherry-pick the strikers on your way to the top and then think that you can just knock off one guy who's a former lightweight that had a little bit of success later in his career at 170, and then try and challenge for a title, I don't see that as making him the number one contender. I absolutely don't. I know there's a lot of hype around it, and like I said, you throw that guy on a pay-per-view, and that brings the money in, that brings the buys in. I get that. I'll buy it. I'll tune in to watch it. I've long said that I'll watch basically anybody fight. You mix and match, the top 10, top 15 of almost any division, and I'm sold. I am in. I don't care how they round robin it. But I'm happy for Leon Edwards. Believe it or not, all that I'm taking from this whole thing is I am happy for Leon Edwards because that man got left out cold. That man did everything. He's like Rafael Dos Anjos. He did everything that the UFC has asked him to. He's beaten every single opponent that they have put in front of him, and he's dominated them. And every single time he gets passed up. Every single time it's one more guy. One more guy. One more guy. He's just like Rafael Dos Anjos or Tony Ferguson. The dude deserves his shot. And now with Nate pulling out with this bullshit, don't care what the reason is, I just hope Masvidal signs on the dotted line to fight Leon Edwards, because that is the fight that absolutely should have been made the night after three-piece and a soda. They should have started rolling out trailers for it immediately, because Leon Edwards is a bad man, and he is legitimately a gangster type himself. Now, even though his fighting style differs from guys like Masvidal and guys like Diaz, his personality fits right in there. And he's going to roll up cocky as shit now that he's the guy standing across from Jorge Masvidal. And honestly, I really like that fight. I know I made comment about, he's stepping over the wrestlers or skipping the wrestlers. All you guys in the comments, before you start, I know he KO'd Ben Askren, but let's be real. That was a 5-second fight. The variance on a 5-second fight is off the charts, man. If he had missed that knee, what happens? If he doesn't land that brutal record-scoring knockout in 5 seconds, what happens? What does the rest of that fight look like? We're going to find out. Masvidal now has a massively tough test in front of him. At least I hope he does. We're not guaranteed that that's what's happening, but honestly, I already put out the tweet. Throw up the bat signal, man. Durinho Burns. Gilbert, where you at? I would love Gilbert Burns to fill in on this spot and take a swing at that baddest motherfucker belt, because Gilbert Burns is a bad motherfucker. You know what? Hit the comments below. Let me know if you enjoy these kind of like chill and chat type things. It's something I've never done before, but with the news breaking, with it being a big pay-per-view, such a big deal, the BMF belt and all that stuff, and the hype surrounding this fight. They've been running trailers on it for a month. I had to just chill and chat with my diehards and talk about it. If you like this kind of thing, let me know. Maybe I'll do it more often. This one's a little short. It's only going to be about 10 minutes long. I can go 20 or 30 minutes. Y'all know I can talk about MMA. This is completely unscripted, though, so if I kind of stumble over my words or whatever, I apologize. I'm trying to, process my thoughts and share it with you guys right in the spot, right on the moment. Besides that, love you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. hit the retweet so this gets out there a little bit more for me. I appreciate it. Go Vikings. Let's get it.